Good morning. It's Carrie here at Prairie Path Books doing a guest stint for Sandy's One Take videos. She asked me to come in and talk about some of my favorite books for the year, so that's what I will share with you. It has been such a great year for some great stories. The first one I want to tell you about is 123 by Lori Franco. This one I feel has been under the radar, but it's a perfect PPB choice because it is smart and it has heart. And the title refers to three sisters, triplets, who were born in this small town that has sort of been ravaged by a chemical company. And these three girls are sort of a testimony to the damage done because two of the three have some pretty serious birth defects and problems as a result. And their mother is a fearless crusader. And these three girls are so unique and so well connected. They communicate with each other, and that's how they refer to each other as 123. So this big bad chemical company is returning for another go, and the girls and their mother and the rest of the town are trying to unite against this happening. There's a little bit of humor, there's a lot of sweetness, and a great small town band together feel for the story that will just leave you cheering for these girls and their little town. Next is Apples Never Fall by Leanne Moriarty. She is one of my favorite writers. I think she's just so clever, and these books are often made into miniseries by Reese Witherspoon, but I think she does them a little bit of injustice because she turns them so dark and sinister, and really there's quite a lot of humor in them. So in Apples Never Fall, it's Stan and Joy Delaney, who have just retired, and they used to own a tennis academy, which they worked, like Joey did all the office stuff and Stan was the coach, and their whole family of 4 children were involved and were on the tennis circuit. And so now they have walked away from that and really don't know what to do with themselves. So that's the underlying premise. There's a little malaise as they face their retirement after being so busy. And then Joy disappears. She leaves a funnily garbled text message to all her children, and poof, they don't know where she is or where to find her. I really wasn't worried about Joy because there's so much sort of funny family stuff that unfolds around her disappearance. And Stan, though, is targeted as a suspect because it's always the husband when the wife disappears. But where she ends up and how she ended up there are really a funny tale to unfold, and I just love the family dynamics. Moriarty completely nails it, and that's the apples never falling far from the tree of the parents, so her clever take on the title. There is a surprise ending that gives it the intrigue needed, but overall it's really a fun read that you're going to keep going through just to see what the outcome will be. Next, over here, Infinite Country. It's one of my signature type of skinny books that I love to read, and just a beautiful story about immigration, the challenges of immigration, how it affects those who are trying to come to the country. In this instance, one of the children is born here but the others are not, and how do you negotiate that situation when the parents can't stay. So beautifully written, and just you'll cheer for the people involved. Some of these are Sandy's, but I've read them too. This was a good thriller. It would definitely keep your pages turning in the cold winter. Here is Love Lettering. Super fun, great light read, but done so intelligently again. Meg is a graphic artist who does calligraphy, and she embeds a message in a wedding program for a client, and this sort of blows up, and all of a sudden she finds herself in the middle of a breakup, but also a budding romance. So you will want to see how that all unfolds. Then Dash and Lily, love this for Christmas time. Beautiful, actually YA book, but totally appropriate for adults. My book club read it last year for some Christmas cheer. Lily is the queen of Christmas. Dash, who she meets through a secret message in a book at the Strand bookstore in New York City, is completely anti-Christmas. So how the two of them come together and how she is able to convert him is a sweet, fun, lighthearted, perfect holiday spirit read. Redhead by the Side of the Road was a November Skinny Book choice, well received and well discussed. Ann Tyler's so good at family dynamics. And here we have a man who is a little set in his ways, to state it lightly, and just how he is able to come out of his shell and abandon his routine based on some things that he could not anticipate happening to him is a great, almost coming of middle age kind of story. And again, it's a skinny one, so you'll breeze right through and be delighted at every turn of the page. Some of the big hitters for this year, we have Cloud Cuckoo Land, Anthony Doerr's latest. What a gorgeous story. He's phenomenal. This is one you will need to take some time with. It transcends thousands of years and is centered on a story that travels through that time, through various characters. It's really an homage to librarians and to books and the power of the written word to transform and to last through time. So we have the past, the present, even into the future in this book, and you'll really want to sit with it, think about it. I feel like it would be a great book club book if your club is inclined to read big ones. This is a pretty thick number, but I think it begs for discussion. And then probably my absolutely favorite book of the year, The Lincoln Highway, I believe is the next great American novel. It has a little bit of Tom Sawyer, Huck Finn, Holden Caulfield, Stand By Me, Shawshank Redemption, all in a beautiful story that has a young man and his younger yet brother traveling the Lincoln Highway in a direction they didn't anticipate after he has been released from a juvie work camp. And he really is intent on remaking his life, but two of his fellow inmates also follow him, and he has to take them into account as he tries to just make a fresh start and get away from his little Nebraska town and get away from his past. But beautifully, beautifully done. You'll love every minute of this one. And that's about it for my picks for the year. There's so many good ones. You know Prairie Path has them all, so we hope you will come in and give them all a look and give away for all your holiday gift giving. Happy holidays.